Okay, so I'm Nicole White. I am an MU 650 Advanced Health Assessment, and I'm going to be doing a physical exam on hair, skin, and the abdomen. My patient here today is named Scott Gagney. Scott, are you okay with me recording you and uploading it? Okay, so assuming that my hands are washed and cleaned, I'm gonna approach the patient, and while I do that, I'm going to be taking some visual assessments. And so we're gonna start off with me palpating the scalp and feeling and checking for the way it's dispersed about the hair, dryness, texture. And as I do that, I'm going to be assessing the patient's symmetry in the face and his facial features and making sure that there's no lesions or striae or anything that's raised. I'll do that by checking all the skin, checking to see if there's any moles that have irregular borders. We'll use the A, B, C, D, E method, and just making sure that there's nothing on the skin that's irregular. So by doing that, then we'll move down to the hands. Can't really see. So then we'll move down to the hands, and on the hands, we're gonna again check for any lesions. We're gonna check for clubbing. We're going to check the bed of the nails, make sure that there's no lines within the nail beds. Are you feeling any pain today? Okay. So one of the next things that we're going to move on to next is part of the abdomen. We're going to do an abdomen assessment. So Scott, when's the last time you had a bowel movement? Okay. Have you been going to the bathroom regularly? Are you experiencing any discomfort? Regular. Okay. All right, so I'm going to have you lay back here with your knees up. And by doing that, I'm also going to make sure that the patient is draped. In the situation we are using a blanket, but I will make sure that the patient is draped and has privacy, and as I go along, I will explain the steps that I'm doing. If you feel any pain at any time, please feel free to let me know. So I'm going to just bring his shirt up to expose the abdomen, and while I do that, I'm also going to be checking for symmetry as it rises and falls. I'm going to be checking for any lesions, any pulsing within the stomach. Anything that's abnormal will be noted. And then from there, I'm going to start to take a listen to all 4 quadrants, and I'm going to be checking for active bowel sounds. So I'll form this. And I'm going to be doing this for a period of 30 seconds to 1 minute. And so while I'm listening to his bowel sounds, I'm also going to check the femoral artery, which is located on the left lower side. And I'm going to be checking for any bruit, any abnormal sounds. And I'll do the same over here while I'm down in the left lower quadrant for the iliac. And then again here, we'll move to the mid-clavicular for the aortic. So once we move on from listening, what I will do is just let the patient know that he might be feeling some pushing because I'm going to palpate his abdomen, and I'm gonna start on the left side, and I'm just gonna be putting a little pressure down and feeling my way around, seeing if there's any dullness, any rebound that's abnormal. Is any of this causing you any pain? And then from there, we're going to move on to the liver, which is on the right side of the body. We're going to go down to, again, we're going to start at the mid-clavicular, and I'm going to start a little bit below the umbilicus, and I'm going to lightly percuss all the way up. And we do this so we can kind of compare from down here, and then we go all the way up again, right above the nipple, and we start to find the border of the liver. And we outline that here. And with men, it's about 6 centimeters. And so then we start to get an idea. And so I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath. And so as he takes a deep breath and goes back in, I'm going to try to get my finger in there and just have him take another deep breath and see if I feel any pushback, any abnormality, checking for dullness. And so I'm going to just ask you to move your hands. And so I'm also going to place my left hand under the 11th to 12th intercostal, and then my right hand above that. And again, I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath. Okay, good. Okay, so then I'm going to move over to the right side of the left side, should I say, of the exam table. And I'm going to be checking the spleen. So, sorry, the kidneys. We're going to check the kidneys. So not always can you palpate the kidneys correct and feel them accurately. So as it was noted in the videos, there is a technique behind it. So I'm going to put my left hand under, and I'm going to try to get a good hand on it, and I'm going to ask him to take a deep breath. And it tells you to try to, get a good handle on it, and you're going to feel the size of it. You're going to note for any tenderness, any dullness. And palpate. And then we're going to move back over to the left side of the body. And this is where we're going to reach over. And we're going to press in, and I'm going to ask you to just take another deep breath. And we're going to percuss over here. Are you feeling any pain? And we're going to note for any tympany. All right. So moving on from there, I think